Welcome to the Dynasty Playbook. Happy New Year's, fuckers. I'm kind of surprised we're back. I thought we died. So Tyler, why did we not die?
Because it's the Dynasty Playbook, man. We got to keep the troll alive there for a while. I'm just being very I don't even know what the word is. I'm very cryptic about my further involvement in the Dynasty Playbook. I was never leaving, but can't do it during the season. Man, there's way too much going on during the season, which we survived, by the way.
You might have survived it. I feel like I dragged myself in by the skin of my balls.
How'd you do? Did you break even? Did you win any money?
I did not. I had one league where I was pretty comfortably going to the championship, scrubbed out in the divisional round. Had another strong contender, fucking had some shit leaks at the end of it, missed the playoffs altogether.
Yeah, playoffs were weird this year, man.
I had one team that legit by the end of the season I think I was third in points for, and I wasn't even a lock for the playoffs until like the last week or two.
Such a weird year, but boy, did it ever Jesus. We're gonna have to edit everything. Ever come to light how important a bye week is? Good Lord, you need that bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Like bad. I had a couple nice teams get bounced week 14. I was like, oh, that's fine. This is fine. Enjoying that.
By far the worst thing that has occurred in this season is there is a week 13 bye week now in the NFL.
That was weird. I mean, fortunately, it was two shit teams. I mean, who the hell were you playing off of? DeMarco, Mariota, and don't say Crowell.
I was gonna, because
of course you were.
I actually had some teams where I limping in with Crowell at the end. I mean, it's like an RB2, and I mean he put up RB2 numbers. He did what I needed him to do. Problem was I was getting screwed by fucking Allen Robinson and every other wide receiver that I liked besides fucking Cooks, and that's it. Everybody else shit the fucking bed.
Why do people hate Brandon Cooks?
Well, a lot of people can go fuck themselves. And if
he was actually pretty consistent, right? I thought so. I mean, in my lineups every week, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with this.
Yeah. You take out that one Rams game where he didn't see a target, and he in terms of points per game, he did pretty fucking good.
I thought so.
And that Rams game was just they double teamed in the whole game, and they went after Michael Thomas because that's what you do when you got a good ass number two. And everybody's on the Michael Thomas train, which I mean is understandable. He had a good ass rookie season, but they're gonna key in on him a little bit more next year. Like Cooks is gonna benefit from that. But it's amazing that even Snead was still fantasy relevant this year. It used to be Breeze would just feed a ton of fuckers yards and nobody would be fantasy usable except for Colston, kinda. And now we've got 3 fantasy usable wide receivers. I mean, they're inconsistent still, but they do it enough. They do it often enough to where you can start them.
You just play them. Like me. I mean, I had Cooks and Thomas on team, and I just every week just click.
Yep.
Just play them both and don't even think about it.
Yep.
But I will bet you Thomas ends up with a higher ADP before the season starts next year than Cooks.
That's fucking unacceptable. It's just bad.
I get it.
I don't. It's not like Cooks had a shit season. Cooks broke 1,100 yards, had about the kind of touchdowns you expect from him, and even in non-PPR, he was still good. He was still a more than fantasy relevant wide receiver, but he gets no respect. Honestly, my biggest concern is free agency's coming up, and I really hope we re-sign him. I'll be super sad if we don't.
He's still got a year left on his contract, right? On his rookie deal?
Yep, we got one more.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Yeah. The only one we got really for this season we got to re-sign is Vaccaro, and fuck, they might let him walk with as good as Bell played.
Bell was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good. And Vaccaro's he's just Vaccaro.
Dude, he's stepped up. I mean, he looked like he did his rookie season when he was tearing it up.
I wonder if the suspension comes into play at all. I doubt it.
Probably not.
That one was a real kick in the pants in the playoffs too. That was fun.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
well, it should have been. It should have came even earlier because it got announced and then he appealed it, so it got delayed.
And he rode out like 3 or 4 weeks, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the only reason he ended up taking it when he did was there was still the minute possibility we could make the playoffs, and instead of being suspended for the playoffs, he would have been clear. I mean, we weren't going to make it anyways, but you can always dream. But I think that's probably enough for Saints talk. Do we want to go ahead and just do a prospect now?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. We're hitting up John Ross, wide receiver out of Washington. He's a redshirt junior. This dude is 5'11", 190 pounds, but you really couldn't guess it based on watching him play. He plays much bigger than that. I've been out of the loop completely this college season, so I just got my eyes on him today for the first time, and he's very exciting to play. He's very exciting to watch, but he's kind of inconsistent. Not in terms of the effort or the speed or the route running, but his hands seem inconsistent because he'll pull off a catch like he did in that fucking Colorado game, which was amazing. And then he'll drop one in the end zone where it just bounces off his hands. It doesn't make any sense. But by far, the most exciting thing about him is his footwork. He'll freeze dudes. He gets separation on his footwork alone, even if he didn't have the speed, which he fucking does. I don't know what he's going to be in the NFL, but I'm probably going to draft him. I'm probably going to draft him as long as he doesn't go in the first half of the first round and then he's at a no longer affordable price.
I think he will. I think he's going to get drafted early in the NFL draft. We saw it last year with Will Fuller.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that take the top off. I think the comps are flying with this dude. I mean, it's everything from Deshaun Jackson to Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller. You know, you just see a lot of that, but I think he's a better player than that. I think he's more well-rounded. You see him, he's incredibly aggressive when the ball's in the air. I mean, he attacks it, which kind of reminds me of Brandon Cooks from Oregon State. When you saw the ball in the air, he's like, this sumbitch is mine. But I think he's going to get drafted very highly, and he's probably going to be drafted pretty highly in rookie drafts. And I'm going to be all about him. I like him. We don't know who the number one wideout is right now. There's a group of, about 3 or 4 guys that get thrown into that mix right now, and I think he's right in there. He just declared today or yesterday, so he's definitely coming out.
Yep.
See, I'm pretty pumped about him, but I think we're probably looking at a top 20 NFL pick. I really do, because he's liable to shred the combine. And like I said, the footwork's unreal, so he's going to kill the short area agility drills. He's going to smash the 40. He's going to have his drops. All right, that's just kind of what these guys do.
Yeah,
right. So we kind of got to learn to deal with it. The inefficiencies from time to time, because he's going to be a playmaker.
Yeah, I still have hands very important on my checklist of things when I look at a guy, but there's more and more guys that are dropping balls like it's cool and still making a career in the NFL and being studs. Hell, I mean, Calvin used to do it, but.
Yeah, I mean, and a guy like that, I can live with the drops a little bit if you're going to go for 60, once every 3 games. If you're going to hang a 12-point play up there, I'm going to be pretty okay with it. If you're going to have some drops and some efficiency issues, if you're going to have that huge ceiling, which he looks like that guy. It's like the little guys, the T.Y. Hiltons, the D-Jaxes, the league has several of them out there, and those are the guys that are capable of giving you 35 or 40. Like that, bam! You look up and they've got 4 catches for 130 yards and 2 touches. Actually, he looks like he's going to be that kind of guy.
I like the Hilton comp. That's that one I can see pretty easily. He doesn't quite scream D-Jax to me, but and that's the one comp I've seen the most, because all I see is straight line speed. And I'm like, there's a lot more going on there than just straight line speed. Maybe coming into this season, because his production before this season was there wasn't any.
There wasn't any. I mean, 30, 40 total catches coming into the season, and then Washington was a good fucking team this year. Well, that was a good team.
He didn't even play last year. He redshirted last year.
Is that right? I did not know that.
He had, I think it's 2 torn meniscus in his knee. He had to get that repaired, which in terms of overall injuries to come back from, that's pretty low on the list. So it doesn't even scream, hey, watch out for this in the future. But I mean, prior to that, he was a freshman and sophomore, and he totaled 600 yards between the 2 years. So I mean, that's probably just, hey, you're new, you're gonna get yours when it's time to get yours, which is okay. I mean, he was 21 at the start of this season, so it's not like he's an old motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm excited about him though.
I've got a lot of like 103 to 106, and I could see me taking him there because I was never that big into Mike Williams. I'm going back into, what was it? It was 2015 when we looked at him the first time.
Oh, we thought we were going to be drafting him last year.
Yep. And then Corey Davis was another one that, I mean, he's good. I didn't see the infatuation with him, not the number 1 wide receiver in this class infatuation. But then again, I mean, look at what my number 1 and what most people's number 1s were. Juju and Dupree are fucking off the radar. And this is going to be, you're going to hear me say this 1,000 times. I think Dupree's going to be a great cheap grab this season because he looked shitty because the rest of the team looked shitty outside the run game.
Is he declared yet?
No, but I can't imagine he's coming back. I mean, you got a new coaching staff coming in. They're still. I don't know that I'm trusting Etling to come back as the starter next year as quarterback. I don't know.
It's such a mess.
It's really and normally I can kind of guess if somebody's going to come back. Besides Doral, I have no idea why the fuck he came back. But normally you can kind of tell when a guy's going to head out. But right now, I mean, this is the most muddy the team's been since I've been following consistently.
It's kind of a mess. They haven't had a good quarterback in, ever.
Matt Flynn was good as shit. I don't care what people say. Matt Flynn used to do fucking work.
Matt Flynn did work. Remember Jarrett Lee?
We don't talk about that season.
He was so bad.
Oh.
He was so bad.
National championship game and can't get past the 50-yard line. I still wake up in cold sweats. Oh, my God. Oh.
It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
But,
terrible.
I was more concerned for the future of the team, knowing Fournette was leaving. But, God, you watch Geis, and it's like, we're going to be all right. We're going to be just fine.
Well, because they have the best running back in football.
He makes my junk wiggle. A lot.
Man, he's good.
Yeah, and I've come around on Fournette a little bit. I think he's got 2 ways this plays out. He's either fucking Adrian Peterson or he's fucking who's the biggest bust you can think of at running back? Worse than Trent Richardson.
I was like, well, I mean, the go-to is T-Rich.
No, he's not. If this goes down, he doesn't even have a T-Rich rookie season.
He's like I don't even want to think he wasn't even that good to begin with.
He dies.
I feel like the Kijana Carter. Nah, I think Fournette's got it. Fournette's a man.
It's crazy that Fournette's not even a locked-in 101 in this class. That's how fucking good Cook is.
Yeah.
And I need to dig in a lot into these lower guys, but I can't imagine any of these wide receivers breaking into my top 2. It's Cook and Fournette, and then whatever the fuck happens after that. Like, actually, we were right before we started recording. Thor was coming after me from our 102 in East West, and he's like, "What's it going to take to get it from you?" I'm like, "Way too much. Yeah. I'm not asking a reasonable amount for this. I want Fournette. I did not have enough 102s to get Fournette in all the places I want him."
Yeah, I think at least today, right now, the top 2 are pretty locked in with those 2 running backs, and add in point per carry, and it's all over. We don't have an IDP guy today. Doug Green over at DLF wanted us to take a look at Hardy Nickerson Jr., who I'm old enough to remember his dad killing people at Tampa Bay for many years. So we'll see if there's some tape out on there and check him out next week. Then we got a bunch of questions. So let's talk about Sammy Watkins. The way it was worded is, why does Sammy suck? And, well, come on. I mean,
I don't see how you can tell me Sammy sucks. You watch the last 3 or 4 games of the season. He just came out like a man on fire, like he was ready to go, like he was finally straight. Now, if you want to talk about, hey, he's got injury concerns, whatever, maybe I'll listen. But when he's on the field, he's a monster. It's why he was a first-round startup pick.
Why does he suck as a fantasy asset, though? It's because he's never on the fucking field. Ever. Yeah. He's having another foot surgery, man. So we're going into year 4 now, okay? So it seems like, Sammy Watkins, he's still just, a rookie. We're still just getting started. He's coming into year 4 next year, so we're getting on up there. He's at the time in his career that when he was coming to the league, right where Julio and AJ Green were. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're talking 4th, 5th year guys, so I'm scared, man. Yeah. I'm scared.
It's crazy to think that there's at least 4 other players from that same rookie draft class just at wide receiver that are pretty clear-cut picks above him right now.
Yeah, a year ago I couldn't say definitively yes, I would take A-Rob over him. Today, yes, I would.
And that's saying something considering the shit year A-Rob had.
Yeah, and then
he didn't even break 1,000 yards.
He was awful. It was just awful. But
everything in Jacksonville was fucking awful this year. They were supposed to be what Oakland is this year.
Yeah, they weren't.
They had all the fucking pieces.
They have Marquise Lee, though.
And you know what? Marquise Lee fucking won me my division in the Scott Fish Bowl. What the fuck is it?
I want a title with Marquise Lee in my starting lineup every week. What the hell's that all about?
I still don't. I'm still not changing my allegiance. I hated Marquise Lee. I hate Marquise Lee forever and ever.
He looked pretty good, man.
Yeah, I know.
He looked pretty good. But yeah, Sammy, it's weird, and he's still so insulated that let's just talk in terms of startups. You're going to have to spend a top 24 pick on him.
Yep.
Period.
And I won't be doing it.
I don't think I can.
No,
I don't think I can.
I'm way too deep in the fucking Sammy Watkins shit.
Yeah, it's just so hard, when you're drafted and your name's, you're hovering over that name. It's really hard not to click draft because you've seen it. We saw it at the end of 15. We saw it at the end of this season.
Saw it as a rookie.
He's got it all, man. He's got it all. When he's playing and he's going, there's nobody open like Sammy. Sammy's always open when he's right. Just don't know if he's ever going to be right. And then obviously Buffalo got rid of that coaching staff, thank God. But now they're playing games with Tyrod, and who knows what's going on at quarterback. And the whole situation is just a mess. We're almost hoping for a second contract now.
Even if you're looking at historically, most of the guys who go somewhere else on a second contract, it's not good for them. Very rarely does it play out well. But I don't know why we're worried about Tyrod leaving. I mean, they have the clear GOAT in the backup. Cardale Jones is. I mean, did you see those 3 games in the
those 3 games,
the playoffs that one year where he was totally a thing? And we don't need to hate on Ohio State anymore. Tony's already hating life.
Oh, man, I got some shots off there. All right, so anyway, that one was from Thor, but this one's from Big Perm, Alshon. This is a little bit similar, only add 3 or 4 years.
This one breaks my heart because I was an Alshon homeboy, fanboy, whatever the fucking words I can't. I was an Alshon fanboy from day one, from before he was even in the NFL. I was ready, and he gets your hopes up and he lets you down, and he gets your hopes up and he lets you down, and I can't ride the roller coaster anymore.
That's kind of where I'm at. If I can get him in a trade at a depressed value, sure, let's do it. And I'll be optimistic and hope that things turn around. But man, it's tough.
You can't. I couldn't spend a top 24 startup pick on him right now.
Oh, no way. No way. And that, and
but I don't know that I can go that much farther either. I mean,
what is he, 27?
20, I think he's 26.
So, I mean, the age is kind of coming into play here as well.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, just in terms of startup, it's just the easiest way to talk about these things as far as compressing the value.
Yeah.
You're taking Dalvin Cook over him, you're taking Leonard Fournette over him, period. So that's automatically bumping him down the line of guys that you're not even thinking about right now or weren't thinking about last year during startup season.
And we may even see him.
Right. I mean, we made it, we're liable to see several guys get over the top of him. So, like I said, if I can get him cheap-ish in a trade, yeah, I'm all about it. But paying that top 10 startup pick that he was, not a freaking chance. The soft tissue injuries are just piling up and piling up and piling up.
Yeah.
And then we add in the situation, which is pretty unclear because who knows?
Yeah.
So
random question for you. Who's the number 2 wide receiver out of this last class? Now that everything's said and done. Because it's Thomas.
Coleman. I mean, it's Thomas is the one. I think Coleman's the 2, but I think Doxson could easily become the 2.
I think Shepard's got a decent case to make for 2.
Man, fuck Shepard.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
We're not going to do that.
I didn't even mean to do that.
You mean Sterling, Jarvis, Landry, Shepard? Or are you talking about the same guy?
Dude.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good, but that's just one of those deals where I can't. You understand. I can't.
Well, I get it.
I will not.
But
yeah, I think if I'm drafted today, 1-2, I really think 1-2 is probably Thomas. 103 is Coleman. 104 is Doc, and then I might even take Derrick Henry 105 over Shepard, honestly.
Well, obviously you have to bump all of those down one for Zeke, but
right. Well, I mean, yeah. Obviously.
I thought you were talking wide receivers there for a second, but I think Boyd's got just as much of a case. Boyd actually did shit this year, like not enough to bump him into 102 territory or even 103, but I think he's got just as much of a case as that Doxson does.
I think he's definitely a first rounder still. If you're redrafting today, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be.
I mean, he's a rookie. He didn't do Michael Thomas things. Doesn't really mean anything because he did enough things where he's not fucking Laquan Treadwell.
Woo!
You know what? And I will take my licks. I missed hard as I could on Coleman, but I'm glad I missed. I'm glad I hit on Treadwell.
Yeah, I got a couple shares. I even acquired a couple shares after the season started.
Like it's Breeze that's always giving Pat a hard time about he's a rookie, whatever. But he didn't even see the field.
Those 2 words you never want to hear are healthy scratch.
Yeah.
That is bad juju, man.
So I guess we go on to another question because I don't know what else to say.
Early rookie tiers. Now, this is tough because we haven't really dug in, and we kind of alluded to it. Tier 1 for me is Cook and Fournette, and I don't even really think it matters what format you're playing in today, if we're drafting today. Tier 2 for me is wide. Yeah. I mean, it's Ross, Davis, Mike Williams, Juju, and then I've got a total man boner for Evan Ingram, man. I got this huge man crush for Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and watch him then, and maybe it's just the Ole Miss hate in my heart, but I've got him as my number 3 tight end right now.
No, not a chance, dude. Oh, I mean, the tight end class is great, but Evan Ingram – he's not – we want him to be classified as a tight end. Don't get me wrong. That's what we want is for him to be classified as a tight end, but he's not really a tight end.
He's Jimmy Graham.
If he was a wide receiver, if I know today he's a wide receiver, he's in that cluster for me with Mike and Davis and Ross and those guys. So if we get him as a tight end, we're looking at a potential serious matchup, a Jordan Reed type player with 42 less concussions and, a matchup nightmare. So for me, Evan Ingram, I mean, I'm going to be spending high picks on him. I'm going to burn some serious capital on Ingram because I love the dude. And as long as he's, no worse than a day 2 pick, I'm all about it.
See, and that's the thing is I don't even dislike him at all. Like, even for an Ole Miss player, I like him plenty, but I just like the other tight ends more.
But
I'm a butt man.
I'm a butt man. A lot of people love the butt. Butt wrecked his whole shit the other night, though. They tore his knee to shreds. But OJ Howard would be the guy that you're gonna want that I'm gonna want to gravitate towards just because he's a freak.
Yeah,
just a freak. The OJ Howard highlight reel is something else, man. It's something else. That catch and run in the national title game last year.
Oh yeah.
Hell. I've drafted guys way higher off of way less than that one play. So yeah, I'm all about those
what
guys.
we spent on Calvin Ridley.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, I lost your audio for a second. Way to go, dummy.
Yeah, we spent a lot of Devy money on Calvin Ridley. What are we even
we
doing?
shit our pants and didn't get who we wanted. We fucked it all up.
We blew it.
We were primed to be all set. And really, we got bailed out because we took Deshaun Watson too.
Mm-hmm.
And we got bailed the fuck out on that Dak trade. Tyler was shocked. He's like, yeah, so what do you think about trading for Dak? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. After all the shit I talked about Dak, he's good. I'm not even going to try and fight that anymore. I'm not convinced he's as good as some people think he is. He's not NFL MVP good. Zeke is the reason they are as good as they are. But I don't have words right now.
I'm convinced that Dak looks like he's been playing quarterback in the NFL all his life. He just looks like he's like, I got this. He's not going anywhere, so.
And I don't think he should. I mean, he's easily in the top half of NFL quarterbacks, even when you throw in the Bradys, the Breezes, Wilson, But
yeah.
I'm just not convinced he's, top 10, top 8, whatever NFL quarterback, because there's still a lot of good players out there.
There are. And depending on who you talk to, there's a couple good ones coming in. And then if you talk to someone else, they'll tell you it's the worst ever.
If by someone else, do you mean Tony?
Well, sure. Yeah. I still think Watson's got the goods.
I think he's got something. And it might
I don't know what it is, but I think it's something. Yeah, you're right. He's got something. He's got moxie. How about that?
No.
All right.
No.
No moxie.
No.
All right,
moxie.
so we got a good one here. This is fun because everybody knows Dynasty Frank. Want us to rank our top 5 IDPs on each level. So I won't go at each position, but we'll go D-line, linebacker, and safeties.
Yeah.
Let's start with the D-line. It's Khalil Mack. Assuming he stays a D lineman, which I think he served Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin was fantastic this year. Unbelievably good this year. But Khalil Mack's the runaway 101, and then it's J.J. Watt. And then we can start arguing, I think. Right?
I think it's a lot closer than you think. To me, it's kind of like how Watt and Quinn were for me in 2014. And granted, we know how that played out, but I mean, Watt's done things as a D lineman that we haven't seen for IDP in a long time. I mean, how many 20 sacks? He's had 3 20 sack seasons?
Yeah, that 2014 J.J. Watt is the gold standard for what an IDP should be. But the age difference alone is enough for me to just vault way up. And I was hesitant to do it because I was anti Khalil Mack. And it was never because of the player. It was because of the position. He was a linebacker. But now that he's a D lineman, and it certainly looks like it's going to stick, I think that's where it's at. For me, my number 3, I wrote down Danielle Hunter for my 3. Hey.
I kind of like it.
I mean, Aaron Donald, all right. I'll make a case for Aaron Donald. But I want Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter on limited snaps was a freaking animal this year. He's still splitting time with Brian Robinson, national champion Brian Robinson, by the way. Still splitting snaps with Brian Robinson. He's eating, dude. Eating. And he's getting better and better. And he looks like a Greek god, and he's still like 17 years old. He's my 3. Or yeah, he's my 3. Donald my 4. Joey Bosa at 5. But you got to worry about positional fluidity with Bosa. But he was everything. He was everything we thought. He was everything I thought he could be. Not he would be or he will be, but he's everything I thought he could be. He handles one-on-one blocking just tremendously well. He knows where to put his hands. He knows what shoulder to attack. He's a great player. Just fantastic.
I honestly think the position changes is less likely than you imagine. I mean, he's already in what would have been the worst potential case for him to get moved, and he still stayed at D-line.
Still stayed at D-line and played a lot of it, but he played a lot of rush backer too.
Yeah.
He played a lot of rush backer too, but whatever he did it well.
Yeah.
Depending on your scoring setup, he can move to linebacker, and we'll still be playing him at linebacker because he's capable of a multi-sack game.
Yep.
At any given time, and a fairly high tackle floor to go with it.
I think honestly, outside of that top 5 is where it gets a lot more interesting because
it gets screwy because Ziggy, who knows?
Yeah.
Wilkerson, who knows?
Vernon is a
damn good player. Robert Quinn.
Buckner.
Robert Quinn's done. Yeah, DeForest Buckner, you definitely want to. I had his name written down. JPP, came on like gangbusters.
Yep.
But
I think the craziest part about Vernon is he and Paul were both tearing it up. They were both in points per game, probably top 10.
Yeah, Vernon points per game. JPP, I just glanced at it real quick, was like 2 or 3, and of course that was buoyed by a couple monster games.
Yeah,
monster games. And then Vernon was like 7 or 8, something like that. Buckner was up there. Bosa was up there. All the guys we mentioned obviously were up there. But I don't know if I don't even think Donnell Hunter at 3 is a hot take. I really don't.
I don't either. I mean, it sounds hot takey, but it's kind of muddled. It's not as clear as it used to be.
D line is deeper.
Yeah.
That has been in a long time. I know a few years ago, if you listen to the show, we were like, pound D-line, pound it. You got to get these elites. And now I'm pretty comfy going into a draft, just punting away.
Yep.
Just let's play it deep. There's all the young guys. I mean, fucking Spence down in Tampa Bay was an animal when he finally came on and started getting a bigger part of the rotation. I mean, there's just so many guys, and Cam Jordan's still hanging around being Mr. Consistent that nobody gives any credit to. It's such a deep position. There are a lot of D tackles that are playing well. I mean, Linval Joseph is still killing it, in the absence of Sharif Floyd, who is also dead.
Yeah, he's dead as fuck. He's done.
So,
but
yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, I think I got Donald as my 3.
And I get that. I mean, if you're talking Donald versus Donnell Hunter, I mean, really, we're just. I mean, the definition of splitting hairs.
Yeah.
The fact that Donald does it as a DT is pretty impressive. I mean, a true interior lineman. That is pretty impressive.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. It's
absolutely
loaded.
Absolutely, assuming health, he's unreal. He's like John Randall level defensive tackle. I mean, he's that good.
I was gonna say, when was the last time we even had a DT this good? At least 10 years.
I don't even remember. I mean, Geno Atkins for a little while, Gerald McCoy for a little while, but they weren't this level.
No, I mean we're going back early 2000s to even sniff it.
Yeah.
But
all right, let's go to linebacker. Number 1's Luke Kuechly, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
you can't really take away what happened to him and hold that against him. That was a brutal knockout.
Yeah, that was nasty. But I like that the Panthers were like, you know what? Your health is more important than some meaningless football games at the end of the season. They held him out. Good for them.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're ensuring the safety of their franchise. That dude is as important to that defense as Cam Newton is to that offense. Easily.
And after one, it gets screwy because, and let's be real clear here, Levante David did not have a bad season.
At all.
You go watch Levante David tape. He's a perfect linebacker. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. but his role changed so much.
Yeah.
You saw him so much more taking on lead blocks in coverage in the flats, a ton in coverage in the flats. And Quan Alexander, who I'll admit that I was too low on coming into this season, 8. He fed. But you can't. You just can't rationally have Levante David at 2 anymore. I don't even think you can have him top 5 anymore. Bobby Wagner, Alec Ogletree, Telvin Smith, Jamie Collins. I think that's a pretty solid 5. Collins, he scares me, right? He's got to scare everybody because every week you're like, okay, Collins, we're in the third quarter and you got 2 solos. What's going on? And then wham, strip sack, bam, pick 6. He always hits the big play. And then he also has those games where he gets 14 freaking tackles.
Yeah.
So as scary as a guy like that is, he's got such a tremendously high ceiling that you want him. I mean, I'll take Kuechly, Wags, and Ogletree over him all day. But there's not a whole lot. I don't think the list goes that much, further before I'm taking Collins.
Honestly, the only guy you left out really and I've been pounding the table for him for years, is Perfect. I'm still convinced if he's not an idiot, if he doesn't do, shithead things like a shithead, he's in Kuechly territory.
Absolutely. He's locked and loaded top 2. Easy.
And it kills me to watch him be just a piece of shit because he's so fucking good.
And he gets injured too. So we got the suspension concerns, we got the injury prone concerns.
I think he's less injury prone than
It's not good, dude.
He's not missing major time on injuries. He's probably missed as much time on suspensions as he has on injuries in the last couple of years.
That's probably true.
But
that's probably true. But Perfect is great value on draft day.
Yeah.
Because everybody's scared shitless.
And I'm going to take him every fucking time. Gimme.
Yeah, I'm not saying I won't. I think if Shaz can just stay healthy, Shazier can just stay healthy, he's in there. He's in that conversation.
How about C.O. Moore?
Alexander. CEO played on 12 different teams this year, man.
And he was still fantasy relevant with the Cardinals.
It took Deion Buchanan going to the IR, Kevin Minter being just horrible. Tyrann Matthews hurt. Tyvon Branch is hurt. All of these things had to happen, and CO finally starts hanging points, and I'm like, oh, CO Moore, huh? I can't do it anymore.
My heart can't take it.
I can't. I've overdrafted that son of a bitch.
Well, I thought at the start of the season he's killing it for the Colts. I'm like, is this happening? Like, I had to pinch myself, make sure I wasn't dreaming, and I woke the fuck up, I guess.
Yeah, and then he's cut, and he's losing dime snaps to TJ Green and the corpse of DeQuell Jackson and Edwin Jackson and Antonio Morrison and Josh McNary. And all of these guys were deemed to be better linebackers for the Colts than C.O. Moore.
Or better for the team. Because I imagine this is all him being a shitty person.
There's got to be more to it.
You don't get let go of when you're producing unless you're a shitty person.
Hell, then he goes to the Colts. Or then he goes to the Chiefs and never even suited up. Never even went active. They drop him. Clears waivers. Goes to Arizona. Finally, it's... No.
You can't.
No. I mean, if you've got 70-man rosters, yeah, cool. Put C.O. Moore on your roster. Why not? Yeah. I'll give that the thumbs up. But in almost any and all scenarios, there's no way. Right. So, safeties, well, defensive backs, but we're not going to include corners and defensive backs because corners are kickers. It's Landon Collins and Keanu Neal, right? That's it for the top 2. Give me who's the other guy? I mean, I can't think of another name.
Really? You can't think of anyone? Maybe somebody that just didn't play this season?
I absolutely Rashad. Absolutely, but Rashad Jones is 28 years old. Come on. There's not that big of a difference between what Collins and Neal are doing right now at a very young age versus what Rashad Jones has done, likely will do again. But the age difference is massive there for me. But Rashad's at number 3, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Keanu Neal coming on. I love it.
I'm upset.
Love it.
I'm not upset that Keanu did it. I'm just upset that Joseph didn't also do it.
Well, Joseph was pretty good. Joseph is a cinch top 7 or 8 Dynasty DB, but Keanu Neal is elite. Love it. I had Keanu Neal on a bunch of rosters, still do. I mean, I went bonkers over him. Passed up. I mean, I was passing up like Jalen Smith, Aaron League, a lot of those guys to take Keanu Neal, and the defensive backs don't matter crowd. They like to, boo me for it, but guess what? I'm hanging 20 at safety every week. So give me all the Keanu Neal. Rashad Jones 3. Number 4, I think it's Tony Jefferson right now,
I think pretty comfortably, actually.
24 years old. About to be 25.
Honestly, I could see the case for Jefferson over Jones right now.
I could too.
I think
there's a little bit of inconsistency there, though. Role designation. Arizona runs so many weird sets.
But you know what? He may have some inconsistency, but when he has a good week, he's gonna win your fucking league or your fucking match for the week. I love Jefferson. I wasn't as late as everybody, but still late enough to where I don't have it as many places I would like. But he's got to be right there with Jones. And then after that, it's
Morgan Burnett.
Yeah, I mean,
Morgan Burnett just went out there and was Morgan Burnett this season. Shocker.
My only thought with Burnett is, what's he, 29?
He's getting up there, man. He's getting up there, but I'm not even going to pay attention to that because he's my best friend. But going back to Jefferson, doesn't it seem like he's been in the league for like 9 years? It seems like he's been around forever, and he's a damn dirty Okie. So I'm breaking my own rules here. But if you had Tony Jefferson this year, especially early in the season, man, he was eating. And then we went through a little slump, and then towards the back end of the season, he picked it right back up and was killing it.
Yep.
So I think the top 5, we're still going to want to talk about Harrison Smith, Vaccaro, Carl Joseph. There are a few guys you could throw in there, but my top 5 is pretty locked, I think.
I think Vaccaro's closer with Burnett for me than he probably should be, but there's not a lot of reasons for me to dislike him. He does everything.
Yeah, he's what you want out of an IDP asset. Solid tackle floor, big playability. Mm-hmm. Vaccaro does a lot of things.
He doesn't leave the field.
That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and that's huge. Do we have anything else? Did we blow through this whole thing already?
I kind of. I don't even know what time we started. I don't know how long.
I don't either.
I don't know.
We're just kind of typical to form. We've been gone for what, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and we have not prepared at all.
Not even a little bit.
Jump in and start talking about football. But we'll get deeper and we'll get going. We'll get cracking on the prospects on both sides of the ball. Get ready for rookie draft season because that's where it's at, man.
Yeah,
I love this shit. I love rookie season.
Yeah, it's what keeps us going. If I was just doing redraft still, I probably wouldn't even be doing fantasy football anymore.
I think I would probably do like 1 or 2 leagues a year, just like, whatever. Okay, yeah, it's kind of fun. But I certainly wouldn't take it very seriously.
No, I would. It wouldn't be a hobby,
no,
or an obsession, whatever the clinical term for it is.
It's an addiction, an obsession. It checks a lot of boxes.
It's funny
what it is.
Like I know Pat mocks me all the time for bringing up the fact that I'm actually working now, but this is the only thing keeping me from going to the Senior Bowl this year because I live on the coast now. I'm less than an hour away from Mobile. I was all about going, and now I'm not a chance.
We're going next year.
Hell yeah.
I know we said it. Let's do that. We've said it a few years in a row. We want to go to Mobile. Let's do it. We'll set it next year. We'll spend a week in Mobile, eating good barbecue,
Honestly, I imagine we'd have more fun doing that than Waz did going to the combine.
Well, the combine, they're like the Gestapo, man. No cell phones, no talking. The underwear Olympics, it's serious business.
Senior Bowl's outside. You can smoke.
Totally.
Don't worry, I'm looking out for you, bud.
I appreciate it. I have my vices.
It's all right. I'm working outside, and it didn't take me but like 3 days to start smoking again. I don't know what it is about working outside that just can't help myself.
That's right. If I ever have any hope of quitting smoking, I have to leave the environment in which I work. I don't know. I never have a chance. I can't do it. There's no way.
No, yeah, that was the same way when I was in the Marine Corps, dude. It's just too many people smoke. It's too convenient, and it's just
you're outside all damn day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just is what it is. But
so, what are your biggest fuck ups for this season? Let's get that out in the open. Let's air our dirty laundry.
Ah, man. I mean, like everybody, nuke A-Rob. That's top of everybody's list, right?
Yeah, I can't even consider that a fuck up because it was still the right call.
I'm not even upset. I'm looking forward to 17 with those guys, and I'm going to value them pretty much the same as I was before.
I mean, I'm upset, but
yeah, I mean, Luke, A-Rob, Gurley. I mean, I traded for Gurley in a couple spots. Not upset in the least. I traded you, A-Rob, straight up for Gurley. I'm okay with it.
No,
I don't remember, but I can sleep at night. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, no, I still have Gurley in stash because he dropped the fucking ball. Dude, I went from being a playoff contender for like the last 2 weeks into like the last 2 weeks to I got the 102.
Yeah, I was in that position in a couple leagues where I'm literally like 101 or a playoff team. And it's like, shit. I mean, I mean, hand to my heart, I'm setting my best lineup every week, but I'm praying to God that son of a bitch loses.
Because, I mean, anything can happen once the playoffs start. I mean, look at my Dynasty as Hell team. That team should have been getting a 103, 104. Instead, I limp into the playoffs and make it to the championship game and lose by not that much. I lost on that last Antonio Brown touchdown in the last 9 seconds of the game. Other than that, I'm walking away with, what, $300?
Yeah. Playoffs are freaky. Are freaky. But, yeah, it's those guys, I mean – Bortles, I guess, to a degree, just because the long-term outlook is not good, Bob. Not good. There's a good chance Bortles is on the pine by midseason next year.
I can see
if
that.
Not earlier.
I think if he plays all season next year, without looking good, it's going to be the GM overruling the.
It's over. Yeah, it's over. If he does what he did this year, next year it's over. There's no coming back from that. He will then be Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, you can't have this much invested in youth in your team and then piss it all away.
Yeah, IDP side was rough this year. It was rough.
I mean, Telvin
Hicks. Telvin was great. Jordan Hicks was at best.
Oh, I thought you were saying IDP for Jacksonville.
Oh, for the Jags. No, I'm saying overall. I mean,
yeah.
My hit rate on IDP was pretty bad. I didn't. Miles Jack never saw the field. I'm not too worried about that. I think he comes along just fine. The rookies. Darren Lee was okay. He wasn't what I thought he would be. I thought once he took the reins, which he did take the reins, but he never did start hanging those big numbers. I thought his speed would get him there. Calvin Pryor was a guy I was super high on coming in. Calvin Pryor is barely worth a roster spot now. Robert Quinn, pour one out.
Ugh.
I mean, pour 5 out for Bobby Quinn.
That was my boy bad. Forever.
That was bad. TJ McDonald was a good player, not a good IDP asset at all. But keep TJ McDonald around, man. Keep him around this offseason. Free agent. Got a suspension looming, probably going to get suspended. But he's still a baller. Overall decent season. No major, huge swings and misses, but a lot of
Yeah.
You know, just kind of fizzles. But it's the same as everybody else as far as, you know, those big guys that just whiffed. Matty Ice was pretty good this year.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet Tyler that Tannehill would have a better season than Matt Ryan. And not only did Matt Ryan proceed to have a baller fucking season, Ryan Tannehill just ate Chipotle every day and just shit his pants.
He was pretty bad. I mean, he had his weeks. Ryan Tannehill could be a decent matchup play for you if you've got 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Don't talk to me like that.
I'll say that for him.
Yeah, so I owe you a case of Monster.
Just a weird year, man. Kenny Britt was a 1,000-yard receiver. How cool is that, though?
Dude, I fucking love Kenny
How
Britt.
cool was that? How many years were you like, Kenny Britt, he's still 23. Kenny Britt, he's just 25. He's going to turn it on. And then this year, he was pretty freaking good. That was pretty cool.
That to me is the, I don't want to say biggest waste of talent because it was never waste of talent, but just so much potential that never happened. Kenny Britt could have been the best wide receiver in the league if all his cards land right, but injuries robbed him, and he still managed to come back to an extent, which good for him.
Yeah. Kenny Britt is that guy. If I were playing Dynasty after like his rookie year, where I'd have taken him like 8th overall.
I might have taken him higher than that.
Michael Floyd. It would have been that kind of deal for me with Kenny Britt. Love affair there.
You know, we can at least say this about Michael Floyd is we didn't buy in this year.
You remember we had a show, we said it was right before the season started, name, you know, a couple guys you would sell for a random first right now. We both said Mike Floyd and Doug Martin.
Yep.
So that was cool. We got out from under 2 guys we didn't have. I actually had a league where I could not get rid of Michael Floyd. I tried. I could not dump him. I couldn't. I tried to trade him straight up for like Harrison Smith, and I couldn't even pull that off. And this was in like week 4 or 5.
When he was still putting up stats. I mean, that was the thing is what it's not. He was kind of like C.O. Moore. I guess he's just an asshole. Maybe it's the Notre Dame blood.
Yeah. I don't know, but the age insulation's gone. Gone. There is no more age insulation with him. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest bust of all time. And what I invested in that dude in years past, that's pain. That's real pain for me. That burning a first round startup pick will set you back a couple years.
Set you back so far, you leave the fucking league.
That had nothing to do with it, Drew.
That
had nothing to do with it.
I know it didn't because I almost left the league too.
Hey, I left that team paid for with 5 first round draft picks. So don't at me, bro.
I'll do what I want because I'm the one that can moderate you. I got buttons and shit. I'll kick you out. I'll talk to myself. But yeah, I mean, Tannehill is definitely big fucking hit for me. Paul Perkins, who surprisingly got some run towards the end of the season, but he's gone.
He's just a guy. I can't even think of Paul Perkins. I listened to the Bull Rush podcast with Ty and Frank and Scott Fish. And it was, I don't even know why it stuck in my head, but several months ago, Ty was talking about Paul Perkins and he kept calling him shit-ass Paul Perkins. So now every time I hear Paul Perkins, I just think shit-ass Paul Perkins. And it's just stuck like glue. So, yeah, Paul Perkins is a shit-ass. Devontae Booker is a shit-ass. You know the 2 guys? The 2 guys I had razor thin close were Jordan Howard and Devontae Booker. Razor thin close. And one time I'd take Howard, and one time I'd take Booker, and the other time I'd flip flop. And I wish I had just pushed all the chips in on Jordan Howard.
I'm glad I stuck to my guns on that one. All the way up until the day the season started, he was my number 3 running back. And honestly, I wish I would have taken him over Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry's probably got a really nice career in front of him, but you're fucking waiting. And
you're waiting like an hour and a half into the 2017 season when Cinderella shatters into 1,000 pieces.
And if he magically doesn't, you're waiting until halfway through his rookie season to where you can get any sort of usable protection.
I just refuse to believe in DeMarco.
I refuse to believe that fate is going to break my way.
That's fair. Life has taught us to be prepared for a series of crushing blows. But I would take Derrick Henry, no brainer, over Howard still.
I don't, just because I think, there's a lot of people are still in on Howard. I'm ready to sell. Like he had what, 1,200 yard season?
I think if I'm not mistaken, he was the second or third leading rusher in the entire league as far as total rushing yards.
And he didn't even start the first 2 games?
Something like that. 2 or 3 games.
And this, I hate to say it's a sell high because he can have a rookie that comes in and breaks, does what he does. He broke the Bears rookie rushing record. The Bears have had, think back to all the fantastic Bears running backs, and Howard is the king.
Sitting on top of the mountain. It is the epitome of a sell high.
And I'm going to do it in a heartbeat, but there's this part of my brain goes, but you loved him.
What if? What if? Yeah, first time we turned the tape on Howard, we were both like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I liked him. I liked him a lot, and he showed the receiving chops too, which that was the big question mark. Same as Melvin. Same as Melvin, who Melvin did some damage this year, man. I love having him on rosters right now. Love having Melvin around.
My number one quote unquote sell high, get him the fuck off your roster right now is Mark Ingram. Like he broke.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get?
I don't care. Anything. Make him go away because it's funny. He's the first Saints running back to hit 1,000 yards since Deuce McAllister, and he's going to get replaced.
But what are you going to get?
I don't care if I get a high second, if I can get that. And I think in a lot of leagues you can get that pretty comfortably.
I think probably so. Yeah. I don't know, man. An early second. Whew.
He's done. Give us a Leonard Fournette, give us Cook, give us McCaffrey, and
I forgot about McCaffrey. When we were doing our tiers, I forgot about McCaffrey.
I think McCaffrey falls comfortably into that second tier.
I agree completely.
Give me one of those, and the Saints are unstoppable in offense. They're already the number one fucking offense in the league. But at the same time, I'm going to get really pissed off if we spend an early pick on offense. So there's no winning unless they go O-line, which I think is. And I can't stop talking about the Saints. But I haven't had anybody decent to talk football with, like local football, because everybody I know is stupid.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment that not that I'm good at talking football, but that I am not stupid.
Tyler, you are not stupid.
We'll just set the bar right there. No higher, no lower, but I'm not stupid. And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
You know what? That's a good philosophy for life. Take what you can get.
Lowered expectations.
That's
You'll
right.
Never be disappointed.
Hell, why? That's the only reason I'm married is my wife's got lowered expectations.
I agree with that. I resemble that statement.
I thought you were saying for me. I'm like, thanks, Dick.
Hey, this is episode 69.
It is. I'm surprised
Nice.
it took us this long. It's crazy to think. You had an IDP episodes, and we're like not that. We're one rookie draft season away from hitting 100 episodes.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. It's been 2 full years,
dude.
right? Or is it 3? No, it's 2.
2 full years for the playbook, but this was our 3rd Christmas together.
Wow. Merry Christmas. Did you get some nice socks?
I got nice jackets, which
nice.
You
can't wear.
You live in my weather.
You can't wear them.
I don't need a jacket, much less many of them to necessitate an entire coat rack.
We're having bipolar weather this winter.
It's the
Last
worst.
night I had my AC on, right, all night. Today I'm freezing my balls off. By like Saturday, it's supposed to be like 75 again.
See, and then you throw in some
man.
thunderstorms and some torrential winds, and you're just having a blast.
Yeah, it was great.
Dude, we capped out at like 50-mile-an-hour winds a couple days ago.
Good times, man.
No,
Good times.
not not when you're working on a boat that's suspended in midair and it moves.
Nah.
Oh.
Safety, schmafety.
No. Safety. I want some safety. I don't want to have to wipe poop out of my pants again. Oh, the first time thing moved, I just so fucking scary. But yeah, so football.
Yeah, what a mess. We're back, huh?
Yeah. Now the part of the football that we're good at, we get to take part in again.
Yeah,
Also,
in-season stuff is just
So, how about that other guy that we hit on way back when? That David Johnson feller.
Yeah, he was pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was okay.
Not like break every Arizona Cardinals record. I think I can't think of words. He broke their combined touchdown record, their scrimmage yard record. He beat out Zeke in terms of fantasy points. And Zeke.
Okay. So here's what I had David Johnson on a best ball team that was legitimately 4 or 5 deep at running back. And David Johnson was a starter every single week.
Yeah.
Every single week. That's nuts on a best ball team with good running backs that he started every single week. That's almost impossible. I'm not a best ball guy, but I got to think that just doesn't happen very often.
Well, I mean, I just pulled up his numbers. If you exclude week 17 where he went out injured halfway through the game, his worst week was 14.5 points in non-point per carry.
Good Lord.
14.5 points. That's if you give that to me on most running backs, if that's their best week every week, I'm fucking ecstatic.
Oh, yeah. All about it. All about it.
He broke, in non-point per carry, he broke 400 points for the season.
That's unreal. That's outpointing most quarterbacks.
Yeah. He averaged 25.5 points per game.
Oh.
That's a lot.
Oh.
And you take out that last week, and it's probably way fucking higher.
Disgusting. I love it.
You know who beat him out in terms of points per game? Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. And that's it.
That's bonkers, dude.
He beat out Drew Brees.
Bonkers.
Granted, by like 1/10 of a point, but Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards, and he outpointed him.
Every team I won the title on this year had David Johnson on it. Like I had 4 championship teams. All 4 had David Johnson. I know of one of your championship teams that had him.
Actually, that was my only championship, my only winning championship team.
I wished I could have had the pleasure of beating you.
Dude, I have one team where David Johnson is my starting running back, and my backups are like Mark Ingram and Jordan. I had Jordan Howard on my taxi squad, and I didn't even take him off because why bother?
Yeah.
The Arizona's bye week was early enough to where I could just throw Ingram in there and like, yeah, whatever. No. And it took a Gronk injury, waivers getting locked, so I couldn't change up my defense, which was infuriating. And then I had A-Rob and J-Matt. And I still had Cooks, OBJ, and Devontae Adams, and still managed to lose.
Yeah.
I lost by less than a fucking point in the divisional playoffs. Less than a point. We were the 2 highest scores of the week, and this is like one of his best games of the entire season. It wasn't even close for me.
Week 14 had more squeakers across all of my leagues than I've ever seen before. I mean, more just super tight games. Hell, I got stat corrected out of a week 14.
Yep.
And he went on to win the title, and I went on to watch him win the title. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, week 14 was some serious squeakers.
It was completely demoralizing for me because I had the last player of that game. I had Mike Evans. And Mike Evans did not have a great game. And I don't know if you watched that Tampa Bay game that night. They get the ball back down like 5 points or something with like a minute and a half to go. And they couldn't – I needed 1 reception for 1 yard to Mike Evans. And I couldn't get it. Oh, the amount of restraint it took for me to not put holes in my wall incredible.
But see, that just makes for me, that makes the fire burn even hotter. Like for some, it's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I can't do it anymore. Me, I'm like, fuck that. Bring on 2017. Let's do this again.
You see, and normally that's like when I lost in hell and Antonio Brown cost me the win at like the last minute. I was fine with that. That didn't bother me. You know, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna win it all next year, later. But when I literally had the best team that I could have had to win the championship, and I lose it on some horse shit, that's when it demoralizes me, because I went and looked at the scores for week 16 and I topped everybody by 25 points.
Don't do that, man. The best thing you can do.
Well, I still had
best thing you can do. Just a little food for thought for everyone. If you get eliminated early in the playoffs, clear your starting lineup.
I was playing for third place money.
Okay, well, in that case, like I said, if you lose, clear your starting lineup, because then the what ifs will kill you, and the off season is long. It's so long, man.
It doesn't last long for me because I got rookie drafts coming up.
It's so far away. We're a full 3.5 months away, man.
Good. It's not like I got to be doing anything in my leagues to be getting ready for rookie draft season. I got a notebook and a pen and free time.
Yeah. Draft breakdown.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. I'm drunk.
Cool. All right, so it's prospect time. If you guys want us to do people, if you guys want us to do write-ups, let us know so we can start getting a list going. So I can, being able to do them ahead of time would also be super nice, so I can build up a little bit of a stock on guys. But yeah, that goes for IDP as well, because we need to start doing those too.
Yeah. Anything. Just anything. Just give us something to talk about, because we're lazy. I mean, we're lazy.
We didn't talk about any candy today or anything.
Well, Nathan brought up his frozen candy takes again. He asked if we've come around to it. And I have. I'm not going to ever agree with his sweeping wholesale all candy is better frozen, because it's not true. Some candy is better frozen.
And I can get down with that.
But not all candy.
But I can't eat any of it.
That's
so nothing. I can't eat anything frozen. I probably couldn't eat a frozen Reese's.
Well, why would you even eat a frozen Reese's to begin with?
You don't.
That just sounds awful.
But I mean, I was trying to think of the softest candy that you can freeze, and I'm like, yeah, I couldn't do a Reese's. I got one little piece of tooth left. Like, you ever have to try and break stuff with your teeth? I don't know what you're tearing into, but you get a good grip on it with your teeth. I got one little piece left. I can grab between two things with, and I'm like, if I pull too hard, this is chipping off. This is going.
Break off, and I'm going to go to the fucking dentist again.
Yeah, and this is the one. This is the one out of the front that still has a nerve in it. And I'm not.
Yeah, you ain't trying to light that sucker up.
It's already exposed enough. That's how bad it is. I legit have an exposed nerve right now, and I can't feel it.
You just got to power through it.
I killed that bitch.
Well, it's either go to the dentist or power through it.
Fuck the dentist. I will not. I hate going to the dentist. I'd rather have my balls pinched than go to the dentist. They're the worst.
A lot of things.
They're mean. They're like, why don't you floss? Like, I do, but there's only so much damage control you could do at this point.
That was a condescending dentist. That's my favorite. It's like, really? I didn't know any about this. Shut up.
To me, what he's suggesting I do is like trying to put dirt in a landfill to close it up.
It's not gonna work.
We're way past like restoration. We're looking at a full tear down and rebuild right now.
There you go.
Now I'm sad because I got janky teeth. Awkward silence.
You're gonna be editing a bunch.
Yeah, no, not for this part, because I just got the silence button and it goes by silence.
Well, edit out all this crap, because this is horrible.
How far back should I go?
Let's stop. I'm done. I gotta go to bed.
Okay. I'm lucky I don't have to work tomorrow. Tomorrow's my anniversary, so I was like, hey, I'm not coming tomorrow. I'm gonna go do stuff with the wife.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't get days off, so I'm doing the 7 days a week thing right now.
Good. I'm happy for you.
It's cool though. I'm making good, dude. We actually, I ended up working from 8 till 11:30 last night. We had to call a boat sank, so we went to a whole different marina while we watched a diver push it right up out the water, and we had to completely tear down and flush 2 flooded engines.
That just sounds horrible.
It actually wasn't that bad because it was only underwater for a couple hours, and they're made to be somewhat waterproof. But what?
Do you remember on Voxer when I had the stunned Keekly avatar?
Yeah, you're talking with Justin about it.
He says you're a bad person. I'm like, I know. I tried to do the stunned Keekly as the new crying Jordan. It's pretty fucked. I did it.
All right, I should probably do an outro so I have like something to edit into.
Yeah, do that.
Guys, make sure to send us whatever you got. You know, we're gonna run out of shit to do pretty quickly. This has been the Dynasty Playbook. I've been your host, Drew. You can find me on Twitter at DrewDotsonNFL. With me has been my co-host again for the first time in a long, long time, Tyler. You can find him on Twitter at HBombIDP. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next week.